The issue was never if it was possible or not. It's that people keep invalidating the idea instead of actively exploring how to make it happen. The problem lies in the collective refusal to shift perspectives and acknowledge that it's entirely possible to disregard the system and still stay where you are. Houses don't vanish when the government loses power. The tools and resources we have access to as privileged individuals don't disappear because we've chosen to reject the system. Removing yourself from the system is both literal and symbolic. It is the recognition that their rules and control only exist because we've allowed them to. Their power is rooted in our compliance, not an inherent authority. If we collectively decided to prioritize taking care of each other and protecting one another, how could we fail? The inability to imagine this stems from an unwillingness to let go of a system and what it offers you, even though that offer comes at the cost of autonomy and true freedom. You are not bound to their rules. You never were. We just have to stop giving them power by refusing to comply. The answers will come when we choose to embrace the collective over the system. I watched as people witnessed a genocide, then guilt-tripped others for not watching. They went to work, funded the very genocide they claimed to oppose, and then went home to judge a poor person for not donating their last pennies to their chosen GoFundMe. I've even heard people refuse to support others, saying their help should go to those who need it more. It feels like donations and online activism have become an excuse to avoid real accountability, a way to dodge meaningful change. People come online, spout their opinions, and then continue living the same way, making no real sacrifices. We're caught up in culture wars, labels, and ideas, failing to see that we're actively contributing to the very systems we claim to oppose. We can't stand on the corpses of those we've exploited and shame each other into compliance with what we think is right. True change begins with holding ourselves accountable for our actions. All of us in the West have blood on our hands, and no amount of money will wash it away. Only sacrifice and hard work can. So what is stopping you? What have you done this past year to prepare for a strike? Where is the infrastructure? Where is the community? Someone told me class solidarity has to come first before we can get rid of the system, and I ask why. Why do you think that? I think this is another example on how our mindsets and beliefs can really hold us back and limit us. We already have a lot more class solidarity than we realize, and we don't have to wait for any imaginary goal to be accomplished in order to act. It's just that currently we are divided by distractions and working in a way that is misaligned from us. Let me explain further by going into the logic of the topic, really pulling apart this label of class solidarity that exists. Class, a set or category of things having some property or attribute in common and differentiated from others by kind, type, or quality. Or the system of ordering a society in which people are divided into sets based on perceived social or economical status, example being the ruling class. And then solidarity, unity, or agreement of feeling or action, especially among individuals with a common interest, mutual support within a group. Or a union of interests, purposes, or sympathies among members of a group. We don't need to wait for some perfect moment or universal agreement to act, because the truth is we already have the tools, the solidarity, and the power. What we lack is focus. As long as we keep validating each other's distractions and enabling the system with our labor, time, and energy, nothing will change. We've been conditioned to seek external solutions, to wait for a leader, a savior, or the right conditions, but that is just another way the system keeps us complacent. The real challenge isn't achieving class solidarity. It is confronting the collective shadow that keeps us in denial. The shadow is the fear, guilt, and shame we've buried deep, the truth we avoid because it's too uncomfortable to face. But until we really acknowledge it, we're just perpetuating the very system we say we want to dismantle. Healing starts with recognition. If we can collectively shift our focus from waiting to acting, from blaming to taking responsibility, we will see that the only thing holding us back is our belief that we're powerless. No one is coming to save us. Change won't come from above or outside. It starts with each of us realizing that we are the solution. So let's stop chasing perfection or permission and start doing the work. Let's stop making excuses and start creating the reality we want to live in. We've already proven we can come together when it matters. Now we need to use that unity to rebuild something better. The time to act isn't someday, it is right now.